Welcome everybody, Monkeypuzzle here with some more ARK. And like last episode, I've got some footage that I want to catch you up on that I wasn't able to record with my mic while I was doing these things, but I have 3 significant tames that happened that I want to share with you rather than just bringing these dinos out of the blue and saying here they are. I want to share the stories of how each one came to join our tribe. So I'm flying up to the mountain nearest me with my Pteranodon. One of the things I do between episodes, just gathering some resources, getting some metal, but it's pretty onerous with the Pteranodon because it can't carry much weight and it's very easy to overload it. So I want to get an Argentavis. Decided to go ahead with it, but this is what's happened each time I try to get one. I'm trying to tame it and I kill it and I feel so bad. And so I tried it a few times, was recording, so in case it did work out I could show you. I didn't want to show you all the ones that I killed in between. It wasn't too many, but it was more than this, and it's just that's not good video. But each time it resolves like this, with the Argentavis flying straight at me. And this one finally managed to go unconscious before it died. So I don't quite get it. They're pretty tough creatures, but I guess they don't have a whole lot of damage that they can take. Luckily, this one also happened in a place that seemed pretty safe. Not too many or any Sabertooths or any dangerous things roaming around. Had some meat I brought with me on my Pteranodon just in case I was able to pull this off. So gonna start the tame and see if I can manage it. Just gotta make sure it stays under. It's still pretty well unconscious, and you can see the taming has started, but we don't have a measure of the effectiveness yet. Got another Argentavis up there. Let's check out what its level is. I've learned you gotta center the thing in your screen before you pull up your spyglass. So that's a level 32. Not bad. Got stegos around here, which are gonna be really helpful with prime meat to speed this process up. It's the only time I actually ever mess with stegos. Usually don't like to, but in this case it just saves a lot of time. So gonna start with this one, and that will really help this tame along. And again, like I mentioned in the last episode, I've really pumped up my movement speed, so in situations like this I can be assured I can get away. I mean, stegos aren't really fast, but it helps. It was a very quick glance there at the taming effectiveness, but got it at 99.4, which is excellent. So at this point it's prepared to add on 21 levels to its 44. And I go ahead and I craft a campfire because we're going to be here for a while and I don't have any food prepared, so I got to cook up some meat and also get some warmth going because I am really cold, and just get prepared to hang out, camp out while we complete this tame well. And it seems like we're in pretty good shape. We're in a really good spot. Got a really good bird. Let's see how it goes. And you can see I've already started giving it the job it's going to have of carrying the heavy stuff. We got some metal on it already. Before it's even tamed, I'm already putting it to work. And I got some food. Yum, 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 yum. So I should be good. There is the dossier when it popped up, the Argentavis. I think they look like hawks, but it says they're actually kind of vulture-like carrion, which is one of the reasons they don't attack you normally. And I got to come up with a name. At this point, I settled into Blitz, which I think actually was a terrible name. Later on, I changed its name to Reach, because what it does is really extend my reach all over the map between its high stamina and its ability to carry heavy loads. It really is going to open up the whole island and allow us to move significant amounts of stuff back and forth and really get to all the places that we need to get to. So time to take Reach back home. My very first Argentavis. hawk-like, vulture-like, giant, beautiful thing coming in onto my roof here. So there it is. A Blitz, soon to be known as Reach. So the last thing to do in this case, and just show you because this is the first time, is I learned the engram for the saddle and then go ahead into the smithy to make it. And it turns out actually it's a craftable in your inventory. So just check out what I need from it. Quite a bit of stuff, but it's not really a problem at this point. So once I have all those things in my inventory, I can go ahead and make the very first Argentavis saddle. So we're gonna saddle our giant bird, and there it is. It's a big heavy thing, but let's get it over there. Nighttime, so hopefully you can see, but just got to get into its inventory and place it in the saddle slot. There we go. So now it's time to go for a nighttime ride and check it out. So these are slower, at least initially, than the Pteranodon, but they have much more stamina. Like I said, you can go much further and you can carry more stuff. And also, they can protect themselves and you. They actually have some melee damage capability, whereas the Pteranodon is kind of the equivalent of flying a parasaur around. It can in a pinch. So that was number 1 in today's taming stories. Here's number 2. You saw me working on taming a Gigantopithecus, the giant ape creature, with Draax. And I spotted another one just cruising around over by ASUS's plains base. And he is a level 72. Beautiful black fur. And I immediately decided I got to go back to my base and get some berries. So, yeah, let's see if I can do this better this time. Feed him to tame. You can see I aggroed him here. Aggroed him right away. But in this case, I am able to run away because, again, the pumped up movement speed is really crucial in these tames. I also read a lot about breaking the line of sight. So I try to get behind rocks and things as much as possible and just stay away. They've changed it so it doesn't break the tame. It just gives you a minute where you have to run away and hopefully not get killed like I did so many times before. But that was also because I involved my other mounts in the process. This time it was close enough to my base that I came with just me. So that's all I have to look out for. But most of the time I'm able just to feed it simply like that. No fuss, no muss. I do aggro it once or twice more, but it's kind of inconsequential. But yeah, most of the time, I just manage to sneak up, give it a berry, and again, give it a berry. I found the key thing with this is just kind of paying attention and being there. Because if you wait too long between the time that it can't eat and it can, that's when you lose the taming. So just got to keep doing it, keep feeding it. Got a whole little montage of giving these things berries. So it's a lot of it. It's kind of redundant, but it's better than bringing you guys through the whole thing without the edits. And they also get closer together the closer you are to the tame. So that's the last one. Got my own dossier this time because Draax actually completed the tames before. So there is the Gigantopithecus. And again, the challenge of a name. I eventually called him Cornelius after the chimpanzee in the Planet of the Apes. I know he's closer to a gorilla, greater than a gorilla. I mean, look at his stats. You can pause there and look at them. Interesting is how much oxygen he has and how much food. 400 oxygen and 3,000 food. But he is a very, very handsome giant ape man, Cornelius. So let's go on home, Cornelius. And then finally, the third story, the third tame of this, instead of just having one per episode, you get 3, is back here behind the blue obelisk. I spotted a wild male Rex level 100. That raptor it's mixed up with wasn't too bad either, and neither is the ankylo for that matter, but one at a time. I determined that I'm going to try to get this Rex because it's too cool, too high of a level. Plus, it's pretty. The total black with the white stripe down its back is kind of a nice contrast with the two white ones I found. They're sort of the opposite coloring. So my first strategy is to try to engage it with me, to try to distract it so I can get it towards a cliff or a rock as usual. But there is just too much stuff going on here. There are too many creatures to distract it, and it's constantly hungry. So instead, I get off my raptor when it seems like in a good enough of a place. Kind of going to take the risk of getting down in here in the forest with it and see if I can just knock it out by hand down here. While it's engaged with this Rex, I start the process. The very first of what will turn out to be very, very many tranquilizer arrows. So now that he's off of that Rex, time to get out of here. But I can't seem to get on my bird, so I got to make a run for it. And it seemed like that was a good idea because here he comes. They can come up on you pretty darn quick, even when they seem pretty far away. And especially with a level 100, you don't want to be around. You know, you have no idea what his melee damage is going to be. But my bird is getting mixed up with him, which is not good. I'm pretty scared about that at this point because I do not want to lose that bird I just got. I'm pressing combination of dash and J, trying to make it go neutral and follow me so that it will get away from there. And for once, I'm able to jump on it like a script from a movie scene, and we are out of danger until I can find another good vantage place. So I'm going to park him behind this nice green mossy rock and take some shots again and see if we can actually achieve my intention of getting this level 100 Rex. Just making sure my bird's safe. And then luckily enough for me at this point, he gets caught up on a rock. So this is a time to try to just get as many of the tranquilizers into him as possible. If you watch my last episode, you know how this goes. So one last time, I'm going to show you the full extent of what it takes, just because I think it's pretty amazing, really, how many arrows it takes. So you definitely got to take advantage of it when they get stuck like this. At this point, he finally breaks free, trying to get a little pteranodon snack. And I try to get as many last arrows in as I can until the point where I decide that I just can't reach him anymore. So time to find a new spot. And there he is. He's not far, but he is behind a rock again. Hopefully he doesn't just climb right over it. But he got free and time to get out. There is a Dominator, and that's going to be one of our next goals in the next episode. But for this one, we got to finish up with this Rex, or not even finish up, but actually see if I can pull this off. So I just keep leading him to higher and higher ground, trying to get good vantage points to keep up with the tranquilizing so I can knock him out and complete my investment of all the arrows that I've already pumped into him. Forgot to put my bird on stay put, but pretty far away. Not that far away, really, if it decided to charge us. Just far away enough that I can still aim effectively and not be in immediate danger. But just going to try to keep the trank arrows coming. And he's stuck again. So we're going to fast forward again while I take advantage of the situation and start just emptying my inventory of trank arrows. And once again, Pteranodon snack is the incentive that gets him unstuck. It's almost like the Pteranodon is on his side. So here he comes. Got to get up the hill and away from him and see if I can find a better spot once again, because once I turn around, I know he's going to be right there, just like that. So I wasn't wrong. Just got my bird on follow at this point, going for higher ground. And it seems like I have lost sight of him for the moment. See if I can pull off getting on my bird. It doesn't always work as scripted as it did before, but we're on it. And there it is. It's actually given up on us and was going back down the hill. So this is a nice little grassy meadow here. Looks like a good spot to stop and see if we can get its attention once again. So as soon as I figure out, there it is, we can start the same process. So hopefully it's not so engaged in other critters that it's not going to notice us, but at the same time, we don't want it to charge straight at us and lose our spot. And it's tricky to aim from that far. So one more time, I reposition myself and just take the risk. Getting a little bit closer. And whoop, there comes my bird. Hopefully it'll stay out of harm's way. It's always the risk of losing your mount. Trike. Seems like it's on the side of the Tyrannosaurus as well. I don't know why it would be, but it's playing defense for it. Time once again to reposition, because you saw how close it got, how suddenly. It was right there. So continuing with the strategy of moving up to higher ground, and hopefully that is going to work. So there it is down there. It doesn't seem like it's keyed in on me yet. Yes, it is. It's just doing some weird pathing. Wanted to break a tree rather than come straight up at me. And time to move again, because it was right there once again. So now taking the fight all the way to the top of the mountain. This is one of the shallower mountains, the less steep mountains on the map, I think. So we're not that high. We're not freezing cold yet. There's a lot of nice iron-filled rocks here and crystals and such. But the goal at the moment is to get this guy. So it looks like I got him in a good position once more. Stuck on rocks for a third time. So this is once again my chance to speed it up for you, because this actually takes quite a while just to empty the inventory into him. And with this last shot, crack, there goes my crossbow again. So nothing to it but to go off and get something else. I could make a bow, but I decided to go back to my base, get another crossbow, hopefully be able to find him again. He's still down there, still standing up, still hanging out. But the irony is, when I finally make it back fully equipped again, what I'd already shot at him had put him out. So found him up there in that little meadow, already unconscious. But I'm not going to complain. I'm equipped for the next time. Found him. Doesn't look like anything hurt him yet. So time to make sure he stays under. Not really in danger of that yet, but I like to keep them fully unconscious during the tames. And I think hopefully it leads to a better effectiveness. I'm not really sure about that, but you can see we're starting with a 98.4 effectiveness for this already level 100 Rex. And I showed that pretty quick. Hopefully when we... Whoa! And this was a pretty good safe spot for the most part. I really appreciated where he passed out, but this is the one time that something came up and attacked us. Reach was able to deal with it, although Reach is a little funny when he's fighting stuff on land, but he managed to take care of those ants. And while I'm waiting, I take advantage of the opportunity to harvest a bunch of this metal up here. You got to dump the stone each time you break one of these things, because you just can't move unless I got my weight up higher. And just starting to fill his inventory up in the meantime, full of metal, because he can carry so much weight. And here we are hanging out on this mountaintop. So just really use the time to fill him up so that we can bring back a nice load, as well as bringing back this nice dinosaur. So looks like we're set to add 46 levels when it tames. So that is not bad considering it's already starting at 100. There it is. This one I decided to name Juggernaut. which translates as an unstoppable force. And he is, look at him, giant beast that is now on our side. Welcome to the tribe, Juggernaut. I'm glad that I was able to pull that off. And that completes the third story I wanted to catch you up on. So next time, I'll go back to some live recorded commentary, but you have seen what I've done in between, and now I gotta just work him down the mountain and make the journey back to one of our bases. I think initially I'm gonna take him to the coast camp because it's closer, and we'll bring his load of metal and meat with us. Alright, y'all. Thank you for watching this episode all the way till the end. I am still Monkeypuzzle, your host, and now he's stuck where I don't want him to be. I'm going to work it out, and I'll see you later.